Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Procreate. Today I'm going to show you how to draw a floral wreath. First things first, you have to create a color palette, and I have selected mine, to which I may or may not add more colors if required. I'm going to turn this layer off for now. Then I create a new layer and choose the brush that I want to paint with. Today I'll be going with a gouache brush, but you can definitely choose any brush you like from the Procreate default brushes. Firstly, I'm going to the painting brush collection, selecting the round brush from here. I'm keeping the brush size at 100%, tapping, and there appears a little circle. Then I resize it using the selection tool and snap it to the center of the canvas. You can adjust the size as you prefer. Select the layer, tap using two fingers, reduce the opacity, and keep it at about 20%, as long as you can still see the circle, because that's the reference for the circular wreath we are going to draw today. Now I'm ensuring that I'm on the new layer and start drawing the flowers. Keep in mind that you can adjust the pen points and resize them always, anytime. Today I'm keeping it all those florals, so there's no right or wrong, just freely drawing as I please. This gouache brush helps me create layers every time I draw on top of a drawing. It creates pigmentation on top, but you can always create layers using any brush, applying different techniques. After that, I'm checking the overall look, and I think it's better to add some details using a slightly darker tone from the same color family. I'm using the color wheel to select a darker tone, and on another new layer, I'll be adding these little details. I'm keeping all my layers separate, just in case I want to modify or delete something, it would be much easier. So it's safe to keep layers separate and merge them only when you are 100% sure of your illustration. Now that I'm done drawing the flowers, I'm checking the color palette again, selecting the brown color to paint the flower centers, creating another new layer and painting in the flower centers. Once again, keeping it all in a loose style so there's no perfect circle at the center of the flowers. So now that I'm done adding little details to the flower centers, I'm choosing another color from my color palette and creating a new layer. I bring it beneath the flower center layer and add these little pops of details to give my flowers better dimension. This trick always gives the illustrations better dimension and color contrast. I'm doing it to all my flowers, adjusting the pencil tips to draw thinner lines as necessary. Now I'm creating a layer beneath the flowers and planning out the leaves starting to paint in. Using the same gouache brush, I continue to paint the flowers, shrinking the canvas every now and then to confirm if it's looking even. Continuing to illustrate, keeping it all loose and flowy. There's no right or wrong, as I said before. You can draw the way you want your wreath to be. Shrink the canvas once in a while to check if everything looks good and confirm if you're still keeping it all within the borders of the circle. Once again, I'm using a paid brush, but you can use any brush already available in Procreate from the default Procreate's collection of brushes. Now that I'm done painting the leaves, I'm choosing a slightly darker tone from the same color family and adding simple details to the leaves like this. Just make sure to alpha lock the layer and reduce the brush tip size for thinner detailed strokes. There's no perfect way to draw, just do it randomly and loosely. I'm going back to my color palette and selecting another shade to add some bud-like details. You can place the layer beneath or on top of the leaf layer, and I decided to keep it at the top. It makes more sense that way. While drawing details, I make abrupt decisions because it's not like I plan things beforehand, but you may plan it and draw or just go with the flow without stressing yourself much. Now I'm continuing to add some shades to the buds using a different shade from my palette. Now I'm selecting the pop of red from my color palette to add some elements that give a pop to the wreath. I'll be adding some small teeny tiny flowers here and there in a new layer. This definitely improves the wreath, as you can see. I'm also adding little centers to the same and checking the overall illustration. I'm adding little details like dots here and there while making sure that I don't overdo it. Also checking the illustration by turning off the drawing guide. I'm adding some little leaves using a new shade of green beneath the little red flowers and adding details to the leaves as well using a darker green. Doing this real quick. Finally, I'm going to select a tone of green, reducing the opacity, alpha locking the leaves layer and adding some shadows to the leaves. Then selecting a darker tone and adding some shades to the leaves to create a deeper shadow effect. As you can see, this really makes the wreath way better and beautiful. This is actually my favorite part. So that's the end of my illustration and I'm super happy with how it looks. I guess now it's time to merge the layers and delete or turn off the circle layer. You can adjust the size of the wreath and snap it to the center as well. This is the final work and it looks so pretty and I can't wait to put it into use. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel Procreate It, and hit the notifications bell icon to get early updates on new videos. Also follow me on Instagram Procreate It Official for more tips, tricks, and updates. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, take care and happy creating.